Hi everyone, my name is Hailey Crusenberry and I am a Waynesburg University student. Now, currently, I am in research in biomedical science and I am looking to do research in my next couple years here at Waynesburg. This is near and dear to my heart because my little brother, his name's Lucas, he has a dairy allergen to whey protein, which is a commonly misconstrued concept. So, I'm going to introduce you guys to a little bit about what I want to do to help in this area. This is whey protein denaturation and its allergenic effects and uses. So, the occurrence of a dairy allergen has to do with the body's immune system, while lactose intolerance does not. Lactose intolerance is simply the body's lack of the enzyme lactase to break down the sugars found in dairy products called lactose. Rather, that sugar remains undigested in the stomach and then later broken down by bacteria. A dairy allergen is where the body's immune system overreacts to proteins found in milk, viewing it as a threat. Allergies are caused by the release of a hormone called histamine. This little diagram over here shows you the difference between normal lactose digestion and then what occurs in a body with lactose intolerance. So, protein denaturation is a little bit more with what I want to do. Denaturation is a process in which proteins lose their native structure and uncoil. This occurs when they are exposed to some external stress or compound, such as heat, acid, salt, or solvent. This process involves the breaking of weak bonds within a molecule that are typically responsible for its tightly organized and coiled structure. The protein will also lose some of its biological properties and activities, thus influencing what I'm looking to research: allergenic activity and reaction probability. Whey protein denaturation usually occurs around 70 degrees Celsius with more precise completion at higher temperatures. This diagram shows you going from the native to denatured protein structure using agents such as pH, temperature, ionic strength, or solubility. And this denatured structure then loses its certain things that are listed. They're very hard to name or say their name. So, there are different ways to determine whey denaturation in the lab. These can be different ways that I can follow through with my experiment. So, there is the turbidity test, which tests that measures the cloudiness of a solution caused by the aggregation of denatured whey proteins. A negative result means that the whey proteins are fully denatured. There is the whey protein nitrogen index, which is a measure of the amount of undenatured whey protein nitrogen in a powder. A lower WPNI indicates more denaturation and aggregation. Then there is spectroscopic, electrochemical, and miniaturized methods. These are rapid and real-time methods that use different techniques to detect and quantify the changes in the structure, and they choose the function of whey proteins when they are denatured. So, here are some common questions I had and their answers to let you guys know a little bit about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So, why doesn't denatured protein powder exist as a substance to add when making a quote unquote dairy free liquid substance when non denatured protein powders are so common in people like weightlifters? One of the properties of the new denatured protein is the fact that it becomes mostly insoluble. Thus, there isn't really a form of soluble powder we can make. Why is there little research on this topic and there are more common alternative sources of milk that are used? So, denatured proteins within dairy, such as whey, are said to lose a lot of their nutritional value in this process. So, more nut milks became a common nutritional substitute for those with allergies instead. I am unsure yet exactly what I want to study. There are a few routes we could go, such as finding ways to replace nutrients into the denatured form of dairy to make a quote unquote hypoallergenic cow's milk. This, however, is very difficult and very unstudied. We could also study if there's a way to complete denature the proteins in which they don't lose their solubility property. So that's a little bit about what I want to do to help in research in biomedical science and give back to my community. So I hope you guys learned something and take this back home and teach people that whey allergies are in fact different than lactose intolerance.